Hello everyone, welcome. So welcome to our Sir classes. Today we are going to start the topic called permutations and combinations. Okay, so before starting the permutations and combinations, we should be perfect in the area called n factorial, NPR and NCR, these three areas. Okay, let us discuss n factorial, NPR, NCR one by one. N factorial is equals to, first of all, I'm going to discuss about n factorial. Okay, so remember, if we want 10 factorial, we should start with 10, followed by 1 reduce 9, again 1 reduce 8, 7, like that, up to you get 1, you should write it. So 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, this is known as n factorial. The next one, suppose if you want, 4 factorial, start with 4 and every time reduce 1 until you get 1, you should multiply, right? So 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Good. Now, what we can observe is, so 10 factorial you have written as 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 3, 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? Okay. So forget about the 10. Okay, 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 means I can say that is 9 factorial, right? So I can write it as 10 into 9 factorial. Okay. Now, I can say that 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 as 8 factorial, right? Means I can write it as 10 into 9 into 8 factorial. Okay. So moral of the story is, so if you are writing 10 factorial, you can write 10 into, if you want to stop there itself, you can write 9 factorial directly. Okay, you can write two values, 10 into 9, and you can stop the next one, 8 factorial. If you want, you can go with the 3, 10 into 9 into 8, followed by 7 factorial, and so on. That means whatever you want, you can write up to that. This is the advantage with the factorial, okay? Remember, when you're writing n factorial, n should be a whole number. Because if I take, suppose minus 2 factorial, it doesn't work because minus 2. If you reduce 1, it will be minus 3. If you reduce 1, it will be minus 4 and so on, right? So, if you observe, it will goes to 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? In the negative, it will never come to 1. That's why this is not possible. Even at any time, if you get 2.3 factorial, okay, so if you want to write it 2.3 into, if you reduce 1, 1.3, if you reduce 1, it will be 0.3, if you reduce 1, it will be minus 0.7 and so on, right? More of the story is 1.3, 0.3, in between 1 will be there, which will not come into this. Then what happens? You will never stop it, means it will not existing, okay? So that means that n should be a whole, not a integer, n should be a whole number, okay? Whole number means W. Okay, if you are writing the n factorial means n should be a whole number, that is 0 to infinite, no decimal, no negative. Okay, good. Next one, we have to memorize some values. 0 factorial is equals to 1, 1 factorial is equals to 1, 2 factorial is equals to 2, 3 factorial is equals to 6, 4 factorial is equals to 4 into 6, 24, 5 factorial is equals to 5 into 24 is equals to 120. Okay, 6 factorial is equals to 6 into 120, 720. Up to this you should memorize. If possible, 7 factorial also, 5040. Okay, up to these you should memorize. Okay, next one. Now we have to discuss about NPR, not NPR. Okay, good, NPR. So NPR is nothing but, when you are writing NPR, let us write the formula first. NPR is equals to n factorial by difference of these two, n minus r factorial. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, good. Now what I can say is, I'll give one example in the conventional manner. Okay, suppose if I want 10p3, I will write it as 10 factorial by n factorial. N minus r, that is difference. Difference of 10 and 3 is 7, right? 7 factorial. Okay, but here we have a problem, that is, if you want to write 10 factorial, you should go with the long numbers, and 7 factorial means again long. That's why what I will do is, I will expand 10 factorial as 10 into 9 into 8 into, I will stop here because the denominator is already 7 factorial, right? I will write like that. Then these two gets cancelled. Oh, beautiful. Now I have a question for you. That is, so I have, an analysis for you. That is, every time doing this is ridiculous and meaningless, right? That's why at any point, if you have 10p3, like 10 factorial, write 10 into 9 into and so on. How many times you have to write is, here it is 3 now, 3 times you have to write. That is, it is 10 into 9 into 8, simply. Okay. Suppose at some place, if you want 100 P5, then you should start 100 into 99 into, how many times we have to write? 5 times only. Okay, 98 into 97 into 96. Observe, 5 times completed. This is the answer of 100 P5. Okay. At any place, if I want 7 P5, 7 P5 means 7 into 6 into and so on. How many times I have to write? 5 times. So it will be 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3. So 5 times completed. Okay, good. From this, what are the analysis points we have to learn is, number 1, at some place if he is asking for 5P naught, then go with the formula 5 factorial by 5 n minus r, right? So 5 minus 0. 5 minus 0 is again 5. 5 factorial, that is equal to 1. So moral of the story I'm writing here, whatever I'm writing here, those you should memorize. NP naught is equals to 1. Okay, next one. 5P1. So 5 into 4 into, how many times you have to write? Only one time, right? 5. So NP1 is equals to N, right? 5P1 is 5. NP1 is N. Next one. 5P4 if I write, 5P4 means 4 times we have to write, right? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2. Okay. 5P5 if he asks, 5 times we have to write, right? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? Can I call it as 5 factorial? So 5P5 is 5 factorial. That means NPN is N factorial. NPN is N factorial. Okay. Good. And one more point what I want to do here is, so 5, 4, 3, 2, right? If I multiply with 1, the value will change or will not change? Will not change. Okay. So 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is equal to 5 factorial again. 5P4 means 5 and 4 difference is 1, right? Okay. Means NPN is equal to N factorial and NPN minus 1. So the difference is 1, right or wrong? Okay. NPN minus 1 is also equal to N factorial. Okay. This is about NPR. And remember one thing, at any place if he is asking about 5P10, okay, suppose if you go with formula 5 factorial by 5 minus 10, right? 5 minus 10 is minus 5 factorial. Tell me, minus 5 factorial exists or does not exist? Does not exist. That means 5P10 doesn't exist. So moral of the story is, if you are writing NPR, remember that N should be either greater than or equal to R. Number 1. Number 2, N and R both belongs to whole numbers. I have already explained why it is. Okay. These are the 2 conditions that should be satisfied if you want to go for NPR. Okay. Larger number P, smaller number we have to write, not smaller number P, larger number. Okay. Good. NPR is over. Now I have to go with NCR, not KCR. Okay. Good. NCR. So NCR is a step ahead of NPR. Okay. So what I have to say is, NCR formula is N factorial by N minus R factorial into R factorial. So what you have to observe is, N factorial by N minus R factorial is there. That means that is NPR by R factorial. What is NCR? NPR by R factorial. That is the important point. Now, suppose at some place if he is asking what is 100C3, okay, first NPR, right? 100P3. 100P3 means 100 into 99 into 98 by 3 factorial. This is what we have to do. Okay, right, good. So 5C2 means I have to write 5 into 4 as 5P2 by 2 factorial. Okay, so 7C3 means 7 into 6 into 5 by 3 factorial. Okay, if you simplify, 3 factorial is 6, na? These two gets cancelled. How much it is? 7 into 5, that is 35. 7C4, suppose if I write 7 into 6 into 5 into 4, 4 times, right? By 4 factorial. 4 factorial is how much? 24. 24 means 6 into 4 is 24, cancelled. Again, you got 35. So these two are equal. Oh, beautiful. Then is there any rule to identify them directly? Yes, we have. That is, NCR is equals to NCN minus R. Okay. So NCR is equals to NC, difference between N and R, N minus R. Okay, this is the formula. Means suppose at some place if you find 10C8, you should write it, you can write it as 10C 10 minus 8, that is 2. If you want to go with NC8 in the conventional manner, what you have to do is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into and so on 8 times you have to write, followed by 8 factorial, which is hectic for you. But if you go with 10C2, it is very, very easy, right? 10 into 9 by 2 factorial, right? That's it. Simple one. Okay, that means you can calculate the value easily. 45 is the answer, right? Okay. If he is asking 100C, 94 is how much? You can write it as 100C. 100 minus 94 is how much? 6. Like this, we can write the NCR. Right, next one. What we have to memorize about NCR is NC naught is equals to NCN. Right or wrong? Difference is NC naught, NC, N minus 0. That is N. Both are equal to 1. Okay. NC1 is equals to NC, N minus 1. Right or wrong? Difference between these two, N minus 1. These two are equal to N. These are the two values you should memorize undoubtedly. Okay. Good. Next one. So here also NPR is included, right or wrong? That's why we can say that, okay, NCR is equal, if you are writing NCR means N should be greater than or equal to R, number 1. Number 2, N and R both belongs to whole numbers.